Earlier this year, the governing body approved for branch visits to resume during the 2023 service year. The service committee assigns governing body members to make shepherding visits on branches. It also assigns headquarters representatives to visit branches. This is similar to when circuit overseers visit congregations, except that the governing body members and headquarters representatives visit branches. As of November 28, over 15 of these visits have already taken place this service year. These visits have resulted in tremendous interchange of encouragement for all involved and have strengthened our unity.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. You are all very warmly welcome. We are so happy to be together here for this morning for this special program that is connected with the governing body member shepherding visit to the Liberia branch.
Hello, everybody.
Howdy.
Finally getting around to the secretly leaked Liberia branch shepherding visit, and I want to thank the PMO very much who sent me this.
Is this going to be long? Because I'm getting hungry. Because, quite honestly, this food from Jehovah, there's no nutritional value in it.
You'd think it would give you an upset stomach to where you couldn't eat.
Well, wait for it. Wait for it. I'm sure that's coming soon, dear.
Yeah, very much. Exactly. Okay, so let's just jump in, and we're not going to cover this entire, I think it was like 3 hours.
Right.
We're just going to hit a few highlights that caught our interest. So let's start with the first clip.
To further strengthen the preaching work in this part of the world, on September 1, 2018, Liberia, Guinea, and Sierra Leone were merged as one branch. That year, all three countries put together had the total of 9,805 publishers. 6,638 in Liberia, 939 in Guinea, and 2,228 in Sierra Leone.
Now, here we have the announcement that 3 countries have recently merged into one. Well, a couple of years ago, September 1st, 2018. So he says how this is going to further the preaching. How does merging 3 countries into one branch further the preaching? To me, it sounds like Watchtower wanted to sell the properties of the 2 other countries and weren't doing too well in those countries, and so they're going to have to merge and pull assets and all of that. At least that's what it sounds like to me.
Well, there's actually some nutritional value in what you just said, because that's what Watchtower's been doing. They've been selling off properties, selling off branches, because we all know the noose around Watchtower's neck. Charles!
Yeah. Yeah. So the 3 countries were Liberia, Guinea, and Sierra Leone, and the branch is going to be in Liberia, and they merged into one branch. And it's going to be interesting because he's going to be talking about some numbers and all the properties they're buying, and it's like, is this where all the JW's money and donations are going to that weren't exactly being used in like the United States and Britain and Canada and places like that, Australia, so that now they can ship all of this money to this branch. That's what I find interesting.
I think they have a word for that that's called money laundering.
Wait for it. All right. Now, right in the middle of this talk of how great the preaching work is going and how many, he suddenly wants to read 2 paragraphs in the recent Watchtower? This had me scratching my head, but I'll let you listen to the clip.
Would you like to listen to the reading of 2 of the paragraphs? Well, what we're going to do right now, no doubt you want to. And so we're going to play paragraphs 16 and 17 of the first study article in the September 2022 in the Liberian English. Let's listen to the reading of these 2 paragraphs.
Paragraph 16, question. Why we must work hard to trust our brothers and sisters? If you not get this kind of painful experience before, work hard to start trusting people again. Maybe it will take time, but you will benefit from doing it. For example, if we not eat food that hurt our stomach, maybe we'll be careful about what we eat. But that one will not stop us from eating again. That the same way, we must not let one bad experience stop us from trusting our brothers and sisters, because we know they're not perfect. When we start trusting people again, it will help us to be more happy and to focus on what we can do to set good example in our congregation. Paragraph 17, question. Why trust so important? And what thing we will discuss in the next article. In Satan's world, it's hard for people to trust each other. But we must trust our brother them because we love them and they love us. When we trust our brothers and sisters, it will help us to be happy and united now. It will also protect us when we're facing hard time in the future. What you must do if someone let you down and you not trust them again? Try to look at situation the way Jehovah will look at it. Apply Bible principles. Get deep love for your brother them and learn from Bible examples. We can overcome our bad feelings and start trusting other people again. When we do that one, we will be blessed with plenty of friends who will stick to us more than our born brother. Proverbs chapter 18, verse 24. But trust that not one-way traffic. So in the next article, we will discuss what we can do for our brother them to trust us.
Wonderful.
So doesn't this tell you that they're having some issues with trust and some infighting maybe?
It's a trust issue. Well, here again, when you have Garrett Loesch, governing body members, say, we're not infallible, we're not inspired, Jesus trusts us, do you? That goes a long way in destroying the fishbowl that is in the mind of Jehovah's Witnesses, because they're only swimming around in stagnant water. But yet when they hear things like Garrett Loesch, we're not infallible, we're not inspired, but do you trust us? How can you trust anybody that says, we're not infallible? How do you trust anybody who's got 100 years of a record of flip-flop doctrines, changing their view on scriptures? So of course that trust is absolutely going to be destroyed.
Well, I just find it interesting that in the middle of this so-called shepherding visit, when they're being positive about the numbers and the preaching work and all of this, that he stops to read these 2 paragraphs. Now, just out of curiosity, because that's just how I am, it's like, okay, I wonder if this is the same. Because to me, this kind of sounded like the simplified edition.
They dumbed it down.
Yeah. So what I did is I went to jw.org and I got the September Study Watchtower of 2022. And I went to the first study article to paragraph 16 and 17 and I printed it up and looked at it, and it's like, oh my goodness.
Well, look at the subhead. Satan is the enemy, not our brothers, but yet listen and look at Watchtower's track record. Look at their track record. Let it speak for itself. Don't let Satan speak for them. Let them speak for them. What? We're not inspired. We're not infallible. But yet they present themselves as the ones sitting right next to Jesus Christ in this heavenly organization.
Well, look it. I mean, let's go back to our experience with the elders. Did we get to where we trusted any elders?
Do you really want me to answer that?
No, because you've mentioned it before.
Yeah.
But the question in this clip for paragraph 16 is why we must work hard to trust our brothers and sisters. Would you like to hear what was the question for paragraph 16 in the United States English version? Why must we overcome any obstacles to building trust? And then they went on to mention, here, let me pull up the paragraph. Painful experience before, work hard to start trusting people again, and they talk about eating bad food and your stomach hurting. And I'm just going to read what it says here in the English version. If you have had a similar disheartening experience, work to rebuild your trust. You may need time, but your efforts will be worth it. No, it wasn't. To illustrate, if we have ever experienced food poisoning, we may be more cautious about what we eat. However, one bad meal will not make us stop eating. Similarly, we should not let one bad experience weaken our trust in all our brothers and sisters, who we know were born imperfect. When we rebuild our trust, we will be happier and better able to focus on what we can do to contribute to the atmosphere of trust in our congregation. What about CSA?
I was just going to say, yep.
Do you really think those families that have experienced that can trust the elders? Do you think the elders in the Crystal Lake, Illinois congregation, the congregation that knows about it, do you think they can ever trust their elders again? No, they can't.
See, this is how delusional the Watchtown Bible Crap Society is, because this paragraph ought to be mentioning the CSA problem and how that absolutely destroys the trust. So Satan's not the enemy, Watchtower. You yourselves are your own enemy.
Well, I did a video here recently where the elders absolutely lied to the congregation members that they were going to report the CSA, the pervo in their congregation, and the cops, the investigators are saying, we never received any reports at this time about this person. So they absolutely lied to the congregation members that knew about this.
Yeah.
And how are you supposed to trust these elders?
Lying to the congregation, dear, is not a proactive way to rebuild trust. But these idiots will never get this. Why? Because too many Jehovah's Witnesses are still swimming around like my mother and your mother in stagnant fishbowl water.
Yeah. Now, I'm not going to read all of paragraph 17, but just hit a couple of sentences here that I thought is like, yeah, right. Such trust contributes to our joy and unity now and will be a protection as we face difficult times ahead. Yeah, ask all the little kids about that.
Exactly.
What if you have suffered the pain of a broken trust? Try to look at matters from Jehovah's perspective. Apply Bible principles. Cultivate deep love for your brothers and learn from Bible examples. Yeah, how is that little kid that has been victimized, how can they ever trust adults, elders, again?
Well, okay. If you're going to check what they wrote right here, try to look at matters from Jehovah's perspective. I will look at it from Jehovah's perspective. Ananias and Sapphira were struck dead for less than CSA. Jehovah does nothing. That's Jehovah's perspective, because he'll strike people to death for lying about money, but he does absolutely nothing to protect children. That's why this trust is destroyed, Watchtower. And once again, you're not even going to mention it's not Satan that's doing this. You're doing it to yourselves. Why? Because every time your mouth is open and every time your pen is moving, you're just throwing forth lies. And guess what? I even did a video a long time ago. One of the prophets talked about the lying pen of the scribes. You guys are absolutely fulfilling that right here. If you really want to look at things from Jehovah's perspective, he should be striking every single one of you men down. But he's not doing it because Jehovah loves what you're doing, just like Satan would love what you're doing to harm these children.
Yeah. The last sentence I'm going to read here is, we can overcome our hurt feelings and rebuild our trust in others. No. How can
can't.
you ever do that?
Talk about a mega dose of gaslighting. It's
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah.
It's right here.
Yeah. So when they say in this clip to work hard to start trusting people again, no, you can't. You can't, especially those members that can see what is going on in their congregations. I did a video yesterday about Spain and how there's a huge implosion and schism within the congregations, within the organization there. Just like Norway and Australia, there's huge schisms going on right now, and people's waking up all over the place.
Well, it's just like any other business, Kim, that's got that big old sign in their front window, going out of business. Well, would you go seek employment in a place that has a big sign that says going out of business? No, you wouldn't. But for anybody that's not a Jehovah's Witness, and you dare listen to what ex-members are saying, we are driving Watchtower out of business. So don't go have a Bible study with them, because you're going to be systematically gaslighted.
Yeah, and lied to.
Yeah.
And lied to. Even by your own parents. You know, and I know that's a horrible thing to say, but it's the truth.
It's the truth.
We were told by our parents that we would not grow old in this system, that Armageddon was coming, and if we were good little kids and obeyed Jehovah and did everything right,
Yep.
guess what? We'll live forever. We won't grow old in this system.
The last conversation I had with my mother, 10, 11 years ago, Michael, I'm going to grow old and we're still going to be in this system of things. And now she's like 10, 11 years closer to her grave.
Yeah, it's a sad reality. It's a
Yeah.
sad reality, and when your whole foundation is pulled out from under you, it's traumatic.
So why not wake up and leave the organization, Mom? What few little years you have left, you really should be repairing the bridge that you damaged.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
But they won't do it because that water in their brain is literally stagnant.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. So, I have a clip here, and I have about probably 2/3 of a page of notes here about this. Mike hasn't heard this clip, so we'll play it for him right here.
Now let's move on to branch expansion. On January 12, 2021, an announcement was sent to all congregations in our branch territory. At the end of the first paragraph of that announcement, it says, "We are happy to inform you that the governing body has approved a project to expand our current Liberia branch facility. And we were all very, very much happy to have that announcement read. Since then, Jehovah has continued to bless the work of the brothers and sisters that are directly working on this project. As a follow-up to that, approval was also given to purchase land in Kekedu, Guinea, to build new offices and bedrooms to care for the Kisi translation needs. We will speak with Brother Kwewu Koklo, who is part of the construction team, and Brother Koklo works with quality control and safety. Please, Brother Koklo. The construction work here in Liberia involves building of offices and places and place to live. Please let us know what progress we have made so far regarding this project.
With the help of Jehovah, in January 2022, we were able to buy a property for the resident building, and it is 5 to 10 minute drive from the main branch office. On this property, houses will be built for the better life to live in. And right by the main branch office, we were also able to buy a property. And a contract had been signed to provide the most suitable design, cost, and construction for the new office building. In April 2022, a land was bought for the Kisi language remote translation office close to Gegedu in Guinea.
Now, there's a lot of information in that clip, and you know, they have to tell this experience about how the person who had land for sale wasn't going to give them, and it's like, I saved you guys. But they're talking about buying all this property, and they're going to be expanding the Liberian branch. They bought land in Kikudu, Guinea for the RTO, which is the remote translating office. In April, they bought land, for the Kikudu. They're buying all these properties to build houses for the Bethel workers.
Cult compounds! Must be dust in the air again.
Yeah, in May they bought a lot of property to build houses.
Cult compounds.
Yeah, and so why would Watchtower spend so much money in these small countries? And I think it has to do with they see the handwriting on the wall that they are going to be imploding in these larger countries like Australia, Europe, Canada, United States, and they're bleeding members. We know that if every single PMO was able to leave, they would lose a lot. And I think that's why they're so desperate trying to find out who these PMOs are, is they probably think that if they could get a few moles of these PMOs, then that would take care of the problem and stop the bleeding. No.
Nope.
No.
Nope. It's like putting a Band-Aid on a dam when the dam's got a crack in it. You don't do that. But these guys are trying to do it.
Exactly.
And you know, the really sad thing is all anybody has to do is do what Jane Doe and I do and a few others. Pick up your Bible, read it, and you can see how nonsensical this stuff is.
Exactly.
It's literally BS.
Exactly.
Unless you understand the deeper esoteric meanings. All these guys are doing are just preaching what's at the surface level, because that's all Jehovah's Witnesses can comprehend.
But I honestly believe that several at the top do know the secret hidden mysteries, ancient mysteries,
That's why they keep putting the compass and square up, and what is above, so is below. You guys will see that here soon.
Yeah, like Armageddon soon.
Like Armageddon soon.
Exactly. We have another clip.
So when the construction work is done, will it handle all of our accommodation and office needs?
Yes, because when it is finished, we'll have additional 36 workstation and 17 bedroom for the better life to live.
Oh, that's very good. So how will the office building be looking when it is done?
We have a picture. Do you want to see it?
Oh, please. Let's take a look at the picture. Wow. Yeah, so that's the front view. Please, can we see how the back will be looking?
Just wanted to give you guys a little picture of how much money, millions, are going to be soaking into the Liberian branch to expand it. And I find it interesting, he says, for a better life.
Called compounds.
Yeah. So what living conditions were the slaves living in before this if they're going to get a better life?
Yeah. See?
Grass huts?
It's Jehovah's money at work.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I mentioned before, why would Watchtower soak so much money into these branches in smaller countries? Makes you wonder. Just gotta ask.
Because they know something that we're not supposed to know?
Yeah. Now this next clip I put in just for the entertainment value.
But what time you will finish the work?
Hopefully, With the help of Jehovah, in 2022, at the end, this project will be finished, both the branch expansion of the office and the resident building.
Okay, you mean 2023, at the end of 2023.
Yeah, no, in 2024, the entire project will be finished.
Okay, the whole project, everything will be finished.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent, very good. I don't want to be sure before my anticipation be too hard.
We will clearly see that there is no obstacle that can stop Jehovah from doing the thing he wants to do.
Yes, very good. That is very, very true. So when will the project in Guinea be done?
Well, we also hoping that it will be at the end of 2023, December 2023.
So how that will be looking? I mean, can you explain to us how the building will look like?
We also have a picture.
Oh, really?
So
Then
let's
can
see
we
it.
see the picture, please?
Gated cult compound. You know, like Hotel California. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave.
Yeah, that's why so many of us like that song.
Yes.
Yeah, but I find it interesting, like I said, it was funny that he thought it was, he said 22, and then the speaker thought it was 23, and he said, like, no, the entire project will be done by 2024. So does the board of directors really believe in Armageddon?
No.
If they are willing to take some of their hard-earned donation, seed money
Seed money, yeah, exactly.
to spend on this expansion, what are they planning for this project? You like that, huh?
Oh, I love it. I mean, it's
Well, when you watch televangelists to mock them, what do you think happens? I hear this stuff. It's painful for me to watch some of that
just as
stuff.
painful it is for me to watch
Yes.
these knuckleheads.
Exactly. So hopefully he'll get that video done
Hopefully,
soon.
soon.
We have so many videos on our to-do list, let me tell you.
Here again, that's not incorporating into this dialogue my Lane Beaver Trading Company channel.
Right?
Yeah.
And then that doesn't include all of the breaking news that comes in between all of this too.
And we're supposed to be retired.
It's so hard being retired because we work harder now than we did before.
Raising a couple more puppies. Oh, and let's not speak about the wonderful blessing we got from the universe.
No. It's called the the Universe Cat Distribution System.
Yes, the universe so marvelously distributed a cat to us.
Yeah. But it's sad because I think somebody just dropped it off and the poor thing was starving and we found it out in his shop. And so we're happy to report that she has gained weight and we are feeding her, and when it's really cold outside we bring her in. She has her own little place in the back of the house, so
And if somebody wants to help donate to get this thing fixed, because I know what's going to happen, the universal cat distribution system is going to let her dump probably 6 or 7 kittens on our living room floor one day. I just see that coming.
that is a joke. We are not asking for money.
Yes, that's just a joke. Don't take that serious.
Yeah, we are not asking for money like some do. But yeah, it's called the Universal Cat Distribution Center.
When
So
you least expect it, that nice little kitten's gonna show up, right, James and Shyla? Because they had the
It
same
happened
thing
to
happen to
them,
them.
yeah, it happened to them too. And the poor little thing was just starving to death, and it was huddled right by an outtake
Yeah,
by their stove. So
the exhaust for the stove or for the dryer.
they have a pellet stove,
Oh, yeah,
and the
that's it,
outlet
yeah.
is kind of close down to the ground, and then the poor thing was shivering right next to that. So the universe gave them a nice little kitten that, I mean, it only had to be like 2 or 3 weeks old. Poor little thing.
And that's how Jehovah takes care of his critters. But he won't take care of human critters.
We digress. You're just trying to avoid the next clip, aren't you?
Yes, I am, because I'm looking at the editing program right now, and from what I can see here, there's at least 2 more left. And I'm starving. Oh, God. Oh, God, no. I stand corrected. There's at least 4 more left.
All right, we'll see if we can cut this down a little bit. But I had to have that previous one because that was just, it's like, obviously they're not planning on Armageddon anytime soon.
Anytime soon.
Or they don't care about spending money. One or the other. All right, now we're moving on to another speaker and have another clip. Maybe we'll stop and feed him so he can have the energy to continue on.
We have greater rejoicing. Why? Because we have that good relationship with Jehovah. He loves us. He's going to treat you, his loyal one, in a special way. And one more way that Jehovah treats his loyal one in a special way, look at verse 8. David said, I will lie down and sleep in peace. Sleep in peace. That 5th way is that Jehovah gives us an inner calm in life. When the storms of this system of things surround us, we get to sleep in peace. You know, most people at night, they sleep, right? But how many can say that they sleep in peace? Peace with a good conscience toward God. Only his loyal servants feel that way.
Now, this clip was disturbing, and it upset me and made me mad because only Jehovah's loyal servants can have that peace in their sleep.
Yeah.
Lie to the members. Lie to the members. How can your little kids who are suffering abuse, how can they have a good night's sleep? You know, how can they sleep in peace?
Well, look at how many, ex-members that you and I have been in contact with over the past decade that still have nightmares from Armageddon. Watchtower, you took the peace away. And now you're trying to pretend that Jehovah is going to restore that peace. The only way Jehovah can ever restore that peace is when you people are flushed right down the commode.
Yeah.
Because your God Jehovah has taken away people's peace because you filled it with Armageddon nightmares, and the poor children, you've destroyed their lives. Some of them can't recover. Some of them going off themselves just to get away from the nightmare that you created. And then you've got the balls to talk about King David resting in peace? Holy Jesus, Mary and Joseph. You people just don't get it.
Well, how could he have a clear conscience and have peace in his sleep when he murdered people? Look at what he did to poor Uriah.
I have not sat with men who conspire to do evil things. Yes, he did. Read your damn Bibles, people. That's what Jane Doe and I have been doing, and it's just this simple.
Yeah. So, excuse the anger, but it really makes us mad when they lie to the members.
Yep.
And we believe this crap for almost our entire lives.
And then they go and try to qualify it with the damn Bible that they wrote themselves, or at least tampered with. And if you don't like the gray Bible, go back to the maroon or black one. And if you don't like that one, go back to the green one. And you can see where they've changed it all to meet their agenda.
Yeah. So this was it just made me so angry when he says only Jehovah's loyal servants will have this peaceful sleep. This peace in their sleep.
Well, tell that to my own mother. Michael, I'm going to die and still be in this system. Don't you think that's taken away her peace? Absolutely it has. Because now she's living in her mind with unfulfilled Jehovah Watchtower expectations. But she'll never wake up because that water in her brain is stagnant.
Yeah. And I know a lot of elders that are hiding these perverts in their congregation. They sleep like a baby because they don't have a clean conscience
Right.
with their God Jehovah. Oh, well, maybe their God Jehovah, who we question, well, we know it's not the source of all.
It's not the source.
You know, is he the one giving them this peaceful night's sleep because their conscience is clear? Yeah, that their moral compass is broken. That's what it boils down to. Their moral compass is broken.
Yeah, it's all stagnation.
It is. It is. Okay, now I have narrowed it down. This is the last clip, so Mikey can go have some lunch.
There is a God.
Just don't ask the cat distribution.
No, I refuse to talk to that God because that's what we don't need any more animals around here. 4 dogs and 2 cats.
Wow.
But of course, the 2 puppies were by choice. So were the 2 older dogs. So was your cat. The second cat, well, we have a heart.
Yeah, I'm not going to let something starve to
No,
death.
hell no.
Yeah.
I would rather starve to death than I'm doing it right now.
He's taking one for the team. He's starving here.
I'm taking one for the team, yep.
Yep, past his lunchtime. Okay, I promise, the last clip.
We can have the same confidence that Jehovah wants to help us as he did David. Jehovah loves his loyal worshipers. He has a special attachment to them and wants them to feel special. How do we know this? Well, let's go back to verse 3 again. Our theme, know that Jehovah will treat his loyal one in a special way. Did you note that David didn't say, know that Jehovah may treat his loyal servant in a special way? David didn't sing that. He said, know that Jehovah will treat his loyal one in a special way. We can have confidence. And then also, too, David said loyal one, not loyal ones, plural, many people. No, he didn't say that. He said loyal one. So Jehovah views us each as an individual. He loves us in our circumstances because we're loyal to him. David felt sure that Jehovah would treat each of his loyal servants in a special way. You can have the same confidence that no matter what hardship you may face, trial, temptation, and circumstances in life, Jehovah will be there for you if you remain loyal to him.
Another disturbing one. I think of all those poor kids crying out, help me, Jehovah. And I had difficult times, you know, many of you know I was physically abused, beaten, and thrown against furniture by my dad. And all the times that I cried out, help me, Jehovah, not once did he save me. And I just feel so bad for those kids crying out for help and saying, Jehovah, please help me, please save me. And nothing is being done.
Well, look at what he's trying to put out. Trust. You can trust Jehovah just like David did. You can have that same confidence. Exactly. You can have that same confidence. Go back and read some of the older literature, particularly in the You Can Live Forever book and also in the Reasoning book. There's Wake magazines, there's Watchtower magazines that build confidence in every single Jehovah's Witness. This generation will not pass away until all these things occur, including the start of the Great Tribulation. Yeah, that's a real confidence builder until it fails. And yet, they can't see the muck and the mire that they're still walking through. Why? Because that water is still stagnating and you can hear it coming out of their own mouth. They're trying to build confidence and trust in failed prophecies. How in the hell does anybody do that? How do you do that? You can't. But yet there are still some Jehovah's Witnesses that are going to swallow this garbage and still think that they can have trust in Jehovah when he's already used the organization to proliferate failed prophecies, flip-flop doctrines, hiding a severe systemic CSA problem, and yet these guys are still spouting the same gaslight that they've been spouting since day one. Take that to your graves, people.
Yeah. Thankfully, that was the last clip, and now I can hear my stomach growling.
See, I told you.
So you all have a wonderful day, and take care. Be safe out there. We love you.
Bye.
Bye.